Here we are at the Beeches Light Railway, situated 7 or 8 miles north of Oxford, by private invitation of Adrian Shooter, the owner. The loco we have come to see is a Sharp Stewart & Co. B040 saddle tank, number 19, and was built in Glasgow in 1889. It worked on the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway for over 71 years, and originally these locos did not have a tender. The coal was stored in a bunker just in front of the cab. It normally had a crew of 5, the driver, 2 firemen, and 2 sanders who rode on the front to sand the rails on the steep inclines. As you can see, it's a garden railway, and Mr Shooter only just had enough room to get the track into his garden. It's basically 2 loops or a figure of 8, with the station situated in the middle there. And we start the video as the loco is just leaving the shed, and obviously we get the normal people jumping in front, even though I've been stood there waiting for 5 or 6 minutes. Loco set off to get warmed up on 3 or 4 circuits of the track, just running light, before rounding the bottom bend and the driver pulling open the regulator so she could come blasting up the incline.
Darjeeling Himalayan Railway locomotive, built in 1889. It worked in India for over 70 years, and it was then bought by an American, Chicago, who ran it for a while. Then he died and it got a bit unloved. It was in the States for 40 years. Very nearly got cut off, but didn't, as you see. I bought it 9 years ago.
While the loco coupled up to the coaches, Mr Shooter gave the guests an introduction, explaining that the loco was built in Glasgow by Sharp Stewart & Co. in 1889 and ran on the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway until 1960. And then it was finally sold to a Chicago businessman in 1962. On his death it was nearly cut up, but finally went to the Heston Steam Museum in Indiana. Then later Mr Shooter purchased it in 1962 and had it completely overhauled at the Tysele Loco Works in Birmingham, and that's where the tender was added. Number 19 weighs 15 tons and the tender another 5. It has both air and vacuum brakes, and despite these refinements for safety, it is largely original, still retaining its original 1889 boiler and copper firebox, making it the oldest loco boiler in regular use in the UK today. Now, what makes this a very, very special day is that 50 odd years ago, my dad, Kenneth Charles Plum, was serving with the Royal Engineers out in India, and he was a very keen train enthusiast. Here I am with my older brother and younger sister, and no doubt by the side of a railway line somewhere in Derbyshire. This is Dad and me, that's Dad and my older brother, and here we are at Tysele Works. Again at Tysele Works on the footplate of Box Hill. And it's amazing, my dad actually photographed this very loco, number 19, while it was still in service. I can't actually show the photograph at the moment, I'm still waiting for another transfer from the negative. But it's because of that photo that my dad took all those years ago with his box brownie that Mr Shooter invited my brother and me along to one of the invitation-only steam days. And there is very little doubt that my dad would have rode behind this very same loco, number 19, but in the foothills of the Himalayas, perhaps up to Darjeeling, some 7,000 foot above sea level. And now, some 50 years on, his 2 sons are being hauled by that same loco. But even with a full head of steam and furiously blowing off, as she rounded the bend onto the 1 in 40 incline, with steam literally exploding from her cylinders, she sadly lost adhesion and came to a shuddering halt. I'm not sure what the exact problem was, but there was several minutes of furious activity. They salted the lines and she finally reversed back to take another run at the incline.